Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Loan Officer Wealth Podcast. We are blessed to be here with Tyler Salmon. Tyler, thank you so much for being on the show.
For having me, Chris. Really appreciate it.
Awesome. Full disclosure: Tyler is a client of ours on the Concierge Program, and Tyler, just thank you so much for taking your time. I know you're busy. Thanks for being on the show.
Partly busy or mainly busy because of you guys in the concierge program. So it's absolutely my pleasure. You guys have supported me a lot in my business, and I'm just ready to spread the love and the word for you guys.
That is amazing. Well, so we'll get into that. But first, a little bit of background. Would you mind telling our audience how did you get into the mortgage industry? Where did you start, and where are you today?
Yeah, sure. So I've been in mortgages for about a year and 7 months, a year and 8 months now. So I'm pretty new to the game. I like to say what I make up in experience, or what I lack in experience, I make up for in hustle. um, Came on board, I was doing a lot of B2B. So I did a
Okay.
lot of B2B sales, account executive, business development manager, sold to a lot of realtors. So that's why I'm pretty comfortable speaking to realtors now. Sold software as a service programs for recruitment companies, as well as, I don't know if you know Strategic Coach.
Yes.
Yeah, but I was an account executive with Strategic Coach in Liberty Village for Dan Sullivan and their team over there
No
uh,
way.
as well. Yeah, so that was fantastic. How I got into it though was just like a lot of salespeople, like you don't necessarily grab your niche and you don't necessarily resonate with a lot of things, and you're kind of bouncing around. One of the partners at Clover Mortgage was a friend of mine. He read an article at Nar City that was published on LinkedIn talking about the benefits of being a mortgage agent, and the flexibility and what income wise it can bring to the table for you in regards to your business. Reach out to him, and the rest was kind of history.
That is amazing. What a cool circle. Yeah. So I was introduced to Dan Sullivan through Dean Jackson, who is I'm a huge fan of Dean's as well. So that is you're surrounded by good people.
Yes, absolutely. Who not how, right?
That's right. Yeah,
That's a
absolutely.
big moniker, and that's why I kind of bring you guys into the fold. That's where you guys came in for me, was a who not how approach. Like, how am I going to do this? No, let's get some professionals and a business and a company that knows and has already implemented the processes and the strategies to help other agents in North America kind of get more Google reviews, build up their business, and ultimately give them more time so that they can focus more on revenue generating activities.
That is it. And I love that. The who, we love being the who for the phone calls because we find, especially in the mortgage industry, it's where the majority of the results come from, but it's also the largest part where we see mortgage lenders falling down because let's face it, sometimes that phone is just 10,000 pounds. It's hard to make the phone calls to the past clients and the referral partners. And so, can you explain? So well, here, let me caveat this. What the concierge program is for our listeners is our team of concierge agents making phone calls for your business as part of your business. So we're representing your brand and we're making those phone calls out to past customers, referral partners, and then new leads that are coming in as well. So let's talk about the past customer aspect of it first. So one of the things that we hear all the time is, Chris, won't people be angry if it's not me calling because I'm the one that had the relationship with them? So how have you approached that and what's your experience been like?
Yeah, that's a great question because I felt that way. I was like, I don't know. Like when I was talking to your coaches when we were in the initial onboarding, I was like, I don't know. Maybe you guys just take on my new leads. Like I don't necessarily want to be seen as passing the buck. Um, but ultimately, I think it's been really, really successful, and a lot of my clients, all my clients, have really enjoyed it. Mainly because number one, it seems like you're stepping up, and I think a lot of your clients, especially if you treat them right, like they want to see you succeed, so they're happy for you. Number two is time, right? So if you don't make the calls or the text messages, then ultimately they're not getting the touch points that they need and they deserve. Whereas with you guys now, they're getting those. I know we've set it up as quarterly touch points. So every 3 months, every 4 months, they get a call, they get a text. They feel like they're actively involved in the process in your business still, and they're not being forgotten. And ultimately, it comes back to they can still schedule in with you. So it's not like Tyler is forgetting about them completely. It's listen, Tyler Tyler wanted me to reach out to you. That's the scripting, right? Like Tyler wanted me to reach out to you to make sure that you're supported, make sure you don't have any questions or concerns. And if you do, let's set up a brief 15 to 20-minute call. So it's been better than I could have ever anticipated. I've had zero negative reactions from this. And the only things I get is like, oh, look at you, like you're getting busier now. I remember when you were just working alone, et cetera, right? So they're super happy for me. They're super engaged, and ultimately, it brings me back to providing time and giving me back the time I need to continue to generate business and applications and speak to realtor partners and other referral partners.
Yeah, that is so true. And then we're in a very challenging market right now. So as we're recording this and you coming into the mortgage industry, entered at a great time during the refinance boom, but now things have changed dramatically,
Boom the bust.
right?
Yeah.
And cycles, and that's just how the industry works. But I'm very interested into what type of feedback you're getting from your past customer database with people having already, locked in at lower rates. Like, what types of conversations are you having with the people that we are booking from the database calls?
Yeah, that's a very, very good question. A lot of people are concerned, a little bit scared. The news is not helping. Getting it from all sides, right? Like some people are like, housing market's going crazy again, which it was a little bit. And then now inflation's ticked up as of last week. And Bank of Canada might raise rates tomorrow or next month potentially, or at the very least, in Q4 of this year. So people have a lot of questions. I think we need to go into it with being a knowledge source for them. They might not necessarily be looking at doing a deal today or tomorrow, but ultimately, if you can get in there, provide them with some valuable support and feedback, they're looking for it. And that's a great place to ask them if they need to potentially pull up money in a second mortgage or home equity line of credit, or if they have any friends or family that are looking for some support right now. I think we need to kind of step back and think about where you are in this situation as well, all of us. And ultimately, we shouldn't be pushing. I mean, it's always good to have the deal, but it does take a little bit more time, and a lot of people are not, as you said, refinancing from their current lower rates. So you kind of have to be cognizant of that fact. But it's still a great opportunity to get deals done. Great opportunity to get deals done. I think you just need to be more education based and less going for that close. If
Yes.
you do that, you're seen as kind of that knowledge resource for them that they can always use you for. So when the tide turns, they're going to be coming to you. They're not going to be going online or searching up anyone else. It's going to be you, and that's when things are going to really start reining it in for the people who put themselves out there as the knowledge resource.
Absolutely. Building the relationship with that database. And the thing that I find is a huge benefit is actually making sure that the ask is scripted, like asking for the referrals, asking for the business, because it takes two or three times of you going through that for people to click. And just because a lot of people aren't entrepreneurs, they're not business for self, they're just doing their own thing out there. They don't realize how important those referrals are for you, right?
That's the thing, and I think a lot of people. I know I was doing this before your team and our coach Alexa, my coach Alexa, started talking to me about this. It's like it's okay to ask multiple times for the business, as long as you provide them with a good service. I guess that's the caveat, right? Like if you're terrible, uh, maybe repair the relationship first before asking. But if you did a great job with them, um, it's okay to ask for the business multiple times. And I think for especially newer agents, I know for me this happened in the first 6 to 9 months. It was like, am I am I ready to ask for the business? Like, am I experienced enough to ask for the business? And ultimately, if you've done a good job for them, feel confident in the fact that you can ask for the business. And if it's a no, it's okay. But
Yep.
ultimately, it's about you helping support their family and their friends. And a lot of people like to be that connector.
Oh, yeah.
I know I do, right?
Yep.
I have a guy for this. I have a guy for that. Drywall. Here's a guy, right? I'm part Italian. You need auto repair guy. Here's a guy for that too, right? So people like to know people who can help their friends and family. So ultimately, like that's what you're trying to do.
Yep, that is amazing. Okay, so switching gears a little bit into realtor referral relationships and realtor referral marketing. So one of the things that we did was we put together a list of qualified realtors in the marketplace, and we've also started making outbound calls to get you meetings with realtors. So first off, which offer did you decide to go with in order to reach out to the realtors, and what does that look like?
Yeah, that's a great question. For us, it's all about, and by the way, I cannot believe how successful this has been. Because you guys are just cold calling lists, right? And a lot of the times go on LinkedIn, right? Half the time it's like cold calling's dead, like not evidently for this program. It's all about the ask and it's all about being super friendly, which obviously your team is. For myself, there's one ask and one uh, thing that we're trying to kind of implement, and another thing off to the side that I'm doing that's a little bit more low key, right? That they're gonna kind of start to get drip with. The first thing is that we're gonna call their lead list.
Yep.
So what I say is, listen, if you focus on Tom Ferry, and I like to use Tom Ferry a lot because of most realtors know who Tom Ferry is. He's a
And Tom is awesome.
And Tom is awesome. Big shout out to Tom Ferry. If he's listening to this, he might be. You're like number 5 now in like loan officer podcast, right? Great work, by the way.
Thank
Uh,
you.
you're welcome. Tom Ferry is huge on connecting with your database. You need to be upfront with them. It's not just about the calls, it's calls, texts, emails. Keep in front of your database. Old, repeat, referral business, open house leads are huge.
Hmm.
Even old client leads that you haven't connected with, because let's be honest, a lot of people don't call their old clients. But I really try to focus on the open houses because they don't really know us, right? So old open house leads and referral leads, like let's start to build a relationship here. We just randomly called you, so I'm a random guy to you. So you don't might not necessarily feel comfortable giving me the clients. We'll contact your leads. These are individuals that are probably falling through the cracks. They need a call, they need a text, they need an email. And ultimately, our goal is to build our realtors book of business. So we want to help you grow your business. A lot of mortgage agents call the realtors and ask for your business. We want to do the opposite. Let's provide you with value first before we get anything in return. That's what I love about this
I
program.
love that.
I love that. I love that so much because a lot of people say they're going to help you, and they're ultimately just there to ask you for your own clients. I
That is
say,
so true.
I say honestly, even if I don't close the deal, my ultimate goal, short, like medium to long term, is for you to appreciate us enough and see that we're supporting your business enough that you see us as the go-to broker. And this is what our way of doing it. So ultimately, if the person's qualified, you don't lift a finger at all. And we're going to re-refer that business back to you so that you can go in there and either sell their property or buy a house, and they're pre-approved, pre-qualified. I get paid when the loan closes. And if they're selling, don't pay me at all. It's all about the relationship. I want them to grow their business. That's what we're here for.
That's amazing. And so then through the logistics of that, you get a realtor that says, that's amazing. You're going to call my database for me, or you're going to call my old leads for me. Then what happens? You then send those leads to the
Exactly.
concierge.
Absolutely. So first thing I do is I send them off an email. I say, get to know, I'm a random guy, ha ha ha. So great chatting with you, but obviously you should probably confirm who I am first before these are your leads that you potentially either paid for or your friends and family, right? So you want to legitimize who you're speaking to on the phone. So I provide them with my website. I have about 45 Google reviews or so. So I provide them
Yeah.
with my Google business page. Thanks Concierge for helping me out with the 45 Google reviews. So I provide them with that as well, just to confirm who I am. I've had people who just stuck up my website and my Google reviews, and they're like, boom, done. It just happened last week. I'm in. Like I'm completely in now. They're sold on.
Nice.
And then I just ask for the CSV file with first name, last name, phone number, email. And then once I get that, I can actually connect Alexa or Coach to the email as well. So it seems like we're all on the same team, which we are. And obviously, it seems like you guys are part of my team as well, which is kind of a nice little touch. And then once she sends the CSV, your coaches are off to the races, creating the CSV and creating the campaigns to get started.
That is amazing. Now, a quick aside, and I don't want to go backwards, but you mentioned 45 Google reviews.
Yeah.
Have we helped you generate all of those 5-star reviews?
It's about half.
Perfect.
About half, yeah. And I mean, that was just the first go around, right? So I haven't been with you guys even that long. It's only been, I think, 3.5 months now or so. So you've gotten half of those Google reviews already. And you just only contacted my clients for the first quarter. Next quarter is coming up end of this month. So that's probably going to be another at least probably 5 or 10 Google reviews knowing you guys. Right. So we're trying to race to 100. That's the key.
Yes. That is amazing. That's awesome. So with being 3.5 months and us calling the database and us calling the realtors, what type of results have you seen? Do you know total number of appointments that have been booked through the program thus far?
And appointments have been a lot. I mean, we're talking about over 100 appointments.
Okay.
Been quite a bit of appointments. Um, we got a ton of appointments just from my existing client database who just wanted to have a quick chat. Market was turning at that point in time. They just wanted to, continue to have a market check, market pulse. We actually closed our first official deal today.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
So as of 20 minutes ago, we've closed our first official deal. We have about 6, 7 applications now in the pipeline.
Yeah.
As you probably know, like it's getting tougher and tougher to close deals. Like it's
Yep.
becoming longer and longer. Things are becoming more and more tough with the lenders and with the government creating more and more restrictions. So those closings that used to take 2 to 3 weeks are now taking like 5 or 6 weeks. That one I was dealing with like 2 months.
Oh, wow.
We have quite a bit. Yeah, we have quite a bit in the pipeline with you guys. I'm hoping to close another 4 or 5 by the end of next month
That is
and
amazing.
kind of go from there. We have 3 official a huge CSV lead list from realtors,
Okay.
with another 2 or 3 in the pipeline. We're looking to. We just have essentially we have follow-up calls in the next week or 2 weeks, including that one person last week who literally just looked up my Google reviews and was like, "I'm in." She's going to Middle East. She's going to Dubai actually, and she's like, "Before I go, here's my assistant. Connect with her, and she'll take care of everything for me. Here's a CSV." This is huge for. This is something that I love as well. So I just did a realtor presentation in Niagara Falls on Thursday for
Oh,
Revel
nice.
Realtor. Sorry, Revel Realty. You can use this even when your team is not. That's what I love about it, right? Like, even though it's fantastic that Jennifer, the concierge, is contacting, cold contacting, you can use this for any of your realtors, not just those ones. Like, I went in there and I did a presentation on a bunch of different things. At the very end, I'm like, listen, guys, I have a lead calling program. You guys can be part of it. I kind of caveat it by saying, listen, I hired this company to contact my leads. We have bandwidth right now for a select few realtors. Would love to open it up for you. Anyone who needs help and support, we'd be more than happy to assist you with that.
That is amazing. Talk about something that's just if you're meeting with realtors anyway, it's a huge value add and it generates results. And the things that I love about it is there's so many people looking at buying leads right now because the mortgage industry has shifted. Everybody's trying to figure out direct to consumer rather than going and spending. I mean, in some cases, leads are 45, 50, $75. You can just go get the realtors to give you all their leads for free.
Don't tell anyone, right? 100%. No, absolutely. That's the funny thing, right? So they're providing you the leads that they've already paid for or worked on that have just fallen through the cracks. It's completely free for you. So it's a perfect service. I mean, to be honest, the one they're called the Barry team over there in Niagara Falls. Fantastic, fantastic team. It's a husband and wife combo. And the wife, when she heard this, was like, her eyeballs like jumped out of her eyes. She's like, I might give you like 20,000 leads on the spot here. Like, I think this is a fantastic idea because a lot of the times for all of us, you get a lot of online leads that you're paying for and you're trying to get the low hanging fruit. And a lot of people don't have systems, processes, campaigns, text, email, etc. for following up. They expect their agents to do it. Big mistake. Not
Yep.
going to happen. Like the majority of times it's like 1 or 2 calls and then they're never calling them again.
Yep.
So past 6 to 12 months, 24 months, they're probably not getting a touch point.
That's right.
And we know you need at least 6 to 7 touch points just to speak to someone.
That's right.
The Harvard data studies that they've done over the past couple of years, right? So the touch point is key. The follow-up game is key, according to Grant Cardone. He's right. Say what you want about him. He is right about the follow-up game. It's all in the goals in the follow-up.
That's right. Yep, that's it. And you have that ability to bring it to your realtor. So out of total, you've got 3 leads lists now, 2 to 3 in the pipeline. Like how many total realtors would you say that you've got move forward relationships with where you now have a referral relationship with a realtor?
That's a good question, actually, because I've had some realtors that are like, I don't like, I love the program, but it's not for me, which I'm like, totally understand. But then I had one literally who was like, it's not for me. I'm so new to this. But then he's like, can you maybe look at my renewal? Like, personally? So I'm working on that right now. The deal might happen, the deal might not. But the point is like, he's looking at my renewal right now. He has another client he was talking to, like very, very new. So he's another client he's talking to, he referred me to. And then he has another friend that unfortunately, like he's in a bad spot, but he's like has a neighbor that he referred me to as well. So, and then another realtor who's like not really interested, but like would love to get to know you a bit more. So just because they say no to the lead list doesn't necessarily mean that they say no, or they're saying no to you and your services. And ultimately what I say is like, I'm here to support you. I'm trying to bring the partnership back to the mortgage agent and the realtor. You'd be surprised how it's lacking, like they're in silos. I want to bring that back. I want to support you. I want to help you grow your business. Like ultimately, if you win, I win. And my like subtle thing that I was talking about in terms of like the secondary is like I put them on the VIP club. I don't know if you
Oh,
know about the
nice.
VIP club, but I put my realtors in a VIP club every month. It's like a mailing list. And I provide it to them for free as well if they're interested.
Oh, nice.
They pay for it. So it's two value adds that I'm providing to them.
That is amazing. That is absolutely phenomenal. Well, Tyler, um, one last question before we go. Um, the lead lists that you're giving, these are cold leads
Well,
from the realtor, which could be months old. It being generous, and obviously you want to try and filter that through the actual agent. Just be like, hey, give me 3 to 9 months. But you're getting cold leads. What type of responses are you seeing from those lead lists? Are you actually booking appointments with people that want to move forward with real estate?
yes, definitely. Absolutely. Again, because they're older, like the older they are, conversions obviously can vary. The if it's within 3 to 4 months, we're looking really, really active. We're getting a lot more responses, though you'd be surprised. Even if it's people saying stop unsubscriber, I'm not interested, but thank you. At least it's responses, and in marketing, like all you really want is responses.
That's right.
I don't care if it's a no. I just want a response so I can kind of filter you accordingly,
Yep.
right? So, and so that we don't bug you, right? So, so ultimately, the response rate's been over 50%, even
Wow.
2 years, 3 years old in open houses that they barely remember. Again, it can response could be, I don't really know this realtor, but I really appreciate it. That's totally fine. At least we're in their ear. At least, they have our contact information. But ultimately, like we booked a few appointments. We're showcasing that to our realtors. I have a couple of doc requests right now where I'm just waiting for pre-approvals. And it's early stages, but the momentum is starting to get there. And the most important thing for me is I don't do anything. like like and I don't want to do anything, to be honest. Like I have a lot of things going on right now, and like I respect what your concierges are doing, but if I tried to do this right now, like I wouldn't be able to run my business. Like I wouldn't be able to submit applications, complete deals, complete files, ask for build relationships with my lenders and realtor partners, right? So this is so important because I'm not doing much.
It is amazing when you're sitting there and the calendar just shows up with an appointment on it. It's
Yeah.
a magical feeling. It's still
That-
still for me doesn't get old.
Yeah, no, it never gets old because your CRM's pinging and you have the text message automated and you have the email automated and you can see your responses. And I'm like, oh, these are great responses. I'm not responding though, like because I don't want to mess up her flow either, right? So it's a great way to essentially have someone. You guys are my assistant at this point in time. Like you guys
Mhm.
are my team members. You guys are my assistant for a fraction of the cost,
Yep.
honestly.
That's That is it. Well, Tyler, thank you so much. Man, 3.5 months on the program. You've already got a deal closed, 7 applications in the pipeline. Sounds like you're working with about 7 or 8 different realtors with those lead lists and everything. Congratulations, man. Like you said, it's just getting started, but you are building huge momentum, and it doesn't work without you working the appointment. So we appreciate you sincerely.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because that should be the final point is ultimately, if you don't work any program, I don't care what the program is, if you don't work it, if you don't implement it how it's supposed to be implemented, it's not going to work. You can have the best idea in the game. If you don't implement it or if you partly implement it, it's just not going to work. Right.
Yeah.
So you guys keep us on track, and it's a partnership ultimately.
That it is. Well, Tyler, again, thank you for being so generous with your time. Congratulations on the success thus far. We're just getting started, and well, we're looking forward to having you back on a future episode.
Thank you so much, Chris. Really appreciate it, brother.
Awesome. All the best.